What's up, YouTube? It's Event Rentals there and here, and I have a photo booth and firewall event tonight. So, as I was preparing for the event and packing my event bag, I thought to myself, this could be a good video. Now, you might be thinking, what's an event bag? Well, it is literally what it is. It is a backpack full of the essentials that I like to have handy at an arm's reach. So if I need it in a pinch, I am ready for anything. So let me show you exactly what's in my bag. But before we do, I'm Event Rentals Darren, and I'll be posting regularly about the journey of growing my photo booth and event rental business, how-to tutorials, and everything in between. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure you hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up. Now, let's see what's in my bag. So the first thing we got in the bag is our laptop. Now, the reason why I keep my laptop with me is because you want to be ready for anything. And here's the story behind that. So one time I was at an event, and come to find out, one of the names on the template was spelled wrong. And it was not my fault, I promise. They sent me the incorrect spelling. So there was no way I could have known better. Luckily, I had my laptop with me, so I was able to easily change the design in Canva, re-upload it, set up the event, and everything went as smoothly as it could have been. Another reason is because this is a great plan B to connect your printer to your computer so you can do prints. Now the next thing to bring is extra cables. I promise I keep it a lot cleaner. This is just for dramatic effect for the video. But the reason why you want to keep extra cables is because truthfully, you need to have enough cables to set up your photo booth, but also as plan Bs if something goes wrong with the cables. Here's another story. I was at an event, everything was hooked up, the cable was connected to the iPad, so it's continuously charging, or so I thought. My iPad randomly died in the middle of the event, chaos ensues. Turns out there was a little nick on the cable, which I guess impacted the actual charging ability. So it was probably draining more battery than it was getting charged. So that's what led to that. But luckily, I had these extra cables, so I was able to right my wrong, fix the problem, and carry on with the event. So always keep extra cables with you. Another thing I want to get is an extra power bank. Okay. Now, again, this is just a plan C if I need to charge my iPad, but also it is a great tool to have with you if your phone dies or you need to charge your phone in your pocket because this fits in your pocket and as you can see, has all the different charging ports there. So that was the practical stuff for the photo booth itself. Now, these are the things that you probably won't realize to pack until you did a few events. So the first thing is nourishment. I am telling you, as a photo booth vendor, you're forgotten a lot of times. You usually don't get a seat at the vendor table, or maybe that's my fault for not asking for a seat. But ultimately, there's a good chance that you will be working an event and you will not be fed, and you're not entitled to be fed. So that's just what it is. So make sure you're prepared. First thing is obvious, water. Got to keep yourself hydrated. The next thing that I like to have is a protein shake and a protein bar. Now, the reason that I choose these is because when you're working an event, guests can come and go. You want to be able to drink something real quick. You want to be able to take a bite of something real quick, right? And protein is something that will allow you to stay more full longer. So if you're not able to actually eat until hours later, this is a key move to make sure that you don't get hangry and you feel satisfied until the event is over. And no, I am not sponsored. However, if Premier Protein wants to sponsor me, feel free to send me an email. Um, and on that note, you are client facing, okay? You want to make sure that you don't have a little chocolate protein powder breath. You want to make sure that if you have a coffee before the event, your breath doesn't smell like coffee. So another thing to have is a pack of gum. You got to remember, this is a client facing role. So you need to make sure that you are not only presentable, but you have good breath. So because that is part of the entire experience as well. And again, on that topic, the last thing we have in my bag, especially because I like to do my hair, it's not very done up right now, but you know, um, extra comb, maybe some hairspray. You know, sometimes when you are setting up an event, it gets a little hot. Maybe I get a little sweaty. My hair gets a little unkept. So I always want to make sure that I am able to do it up and fix it before the actual event starts. Because again, this is a client facing role, and how you present yourself is part of the experience of why they booked you. So always make sure that you are well kept for your events and you are prepared if something happens. Because there was one time, uh, obviously I do my hair and everything, right? Everything's all good. And then guess what? It rained. And guess who didn't have an umbrella? Guess who didn't have a hat? This guy. So obviously my hair was just all over the place. So luckily I had this handy because I was able to just go to the washroom, and in like 15 seconds I was able to freshen myself up, look so much better, and most importantly, feel so much better going into the event. So with that being said, that is everything that I keep in my event bag. Um, this is a key tip and a key move for, especially if you're a new boother. Always have an event bag of things that are needed, so you have it close by and you know exactly where it is. Okay, because extreme accountability, you need to be prepared and you need to be ready for everything. Now that being said, that's the video. I need to keep getting ready for my event tonight. However, before I leave off, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you check the description of this video, there are Amazon links for all things that I use for my business. There is a link to the PhotoBooth software that I personally use. And lastly, a link to my Patreon. Now, on my Patreon, I am trying to grow the most helpful community of PhotoBooth and event rental entrepreneurs. Whether you are a beginner or you are a vet, I want to build a community where we could all come together and help each other grow, book more business, and just become successful. So that being said, that's the video. I'll see you in the next one.